Hey guys, it's Lee with Untapped Potential. We're doing Kytheon's campaign. We are about to start mission number 2. After being arrested by the guards last time, we've been dragged to prison. What awaits us within? Still standing for justice, even while incarcerated, you fight against the bullying and corruption around you. Hixus, the prison's warden, begins to admire your commitment to your convictions. He starts your training in Hieromancy, magic based on order and justice. But first, the training drone. It must have gotten incarcerated too. I wonder what its crime was.
A turn in
Wasting
Magic
time?
is broken into several phases. At the start of your turn, you'll untap all your tapped cards and draw a card. There are 2 main phases, one before combat and one after. Most spells can be cast only during one of your main phases. If a card in your hand is glowing, it means you can cast that spell or play that land.
That's good to know. It'll keep us clear in the future and make sure that we know that there is something we can do, even if it's not something we necessarily, at the time, want to do. Let's go.
You've already seen the combat phase, when creatures attack and block. All damage dealt to creatures heals at the end of the turn. After that, the next turn begins. This skill quest starts in your first main phase. A Darkslick Drake stands between your Elvish warrior and victory. Find a way to attack and win this turn.
Okay guys, we got a tough puzzle ahead of us. We've only got 3 green mana and a 2/3, which isn't going to get past a 2/4. So I think we need to play the island, have as many options as possible. And let's see what this does. Unsummon. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Well, we could return our card to our own hand, but I don't think we want to do that. Let's target the Darkslick Drake. It seemed to have worked. So we're going to the attack step. But before we do that, I want to show you something about the Unsummon. It's an instant, which in the last game we didn't see. We only saw creatures. Instants and sorceries are basically one-use spells. Once you use them, they go directly to the graveyard. Sorceries can only be cast during the main phases, but instants, as long as you have the mana to cast them, can be cast at any time while you have priority. Something to keep in mind. I'm sure the nice lady will tell us all about it shortly. But we're going to go ahead and attack and beat up the robot. This is prison. We got to show them who's boss.
Good job! Casting the right spell at the right time can be the difference between defeat and victory.
What did I say? Here we go. So let's see if we have to beat up the robot for a second time or whether we actually get to start playing. Alright, we're facing Hixus as Kytheon and we are going first. Well, it worked well enough last time. Let's play a land and play an elite vanguard. I'm worried though that Hixus is going to be a little tougher than his guards. So since he's our teacher and everything, let's find out just how tough he is. Something that's cool is that Hixus actually has his own card that's in the game. I don't think we're going to get our mitts on it in this tutorial, but once we start actually playing, we will. And I, for one, am looking forward to using it. It looks pretty sweet. It's too bad we don't have it here, though. I would absolutely love to cast Hixus against himself. I imagine it would confuse him very, very much. We're going to deal 2 damage, and we're going to play another Orestes Swiftclaw, and maybe this one will be better than the one in the last match, which had trouble staying alive. We're going to pass the turn. There's the 2/2, which is going to kill my Swiftclaw. Love being right all the time. That's okay. Something interesting to note about Hixus, though, he is playing 2 different colors of mana. He is both red and white, which means he will have more options than the guards we faced last time. Gonna go ahead and attack here with the 3/1 and the 2/2. It's just good form, you know. And he is gonna trade the 2/2 with the 3/1, which is fine. Again, we're just going to keep control of the field. Go into the second main step now. We're going to play the Eagle to watch, get that flyer in the air to beat down as much as we can. And we're going to fight fire with flyer. No, they're not going to stop. Sorry. Okay, our opponent played his own Eagle of the Watch, meaning our flying strategy isn't as cunning as we thought. Ooh, what'd we get? Well, time to learn how to play instants. Bring it in, robot.
Instants are tricky and can be cast at any time. On your turn, on your opponent's turn, even during combat. After you cast an instant, it has an effect on the game, and then is put into the graveyard. For example, you could cast an instant after blockers have been chosen, but before combat damage has been dealt.
Alright, let's see if we can do this. See if I can use the pause button at the right time, which for the record is spacebar, so don't expect to see my mouse pointer zipping all over the frame trying to take care of it. That's not a thing we're doing.
In this skill quest, your opponent has 6 life. Find a way to win this turn.
Okay, computer. So we're going to combat now. We have 2 4-1s. So we're going to attack our opponent with both. We're going to confirm the attack. He is going to block one of our creatures, though.
A timer counts down whenever it's your turn to act. If you want to cast an instant, click Stop the Timer. This will give you more time to plan your play.
Boy, no fair. It kept ticking down even while she was talking. It's a good thing I was paying attention. So we're going to go ahead and cast our Wild Growth, targeting the creature that was not blocked. Giving it 7 power. Just enough to send the robot to the scrap heap.
Outstanding! If you have an instant you might want to cast, be ready to stop the timer so you don't miss your chance.
I guarantee you, at some point in the not-too-distant future, I'm going to miss the timing and lose because of an instant. Go ahead and place your bets. Hopefully it won't be too soon, though. That would be way embarrassing. Alright, we're back. I believe it was our main phase. We've played our land, but not our creature, because we're going to wait till our second main phase to do that. In the meantime, let's swing with the team. Let's see if he trades his flyer for ours. He does. Oh. I had an instant. I could have done something about it. Well, it actually wouldn't have been enough. I only had one toughness, and he had 2 power. So we still would have traded. So, really, I was just conserving. I was playing smart Magic. Since he's been playing a lot of 2/2s, we're going to play a 2/2 of our own, so that next turn we can get some mileage out of our instant. Because if we play the Resker Swiftclaw, the same problem will happen, and we'll just have a 3/2, which will still trade. And then we get 2 for 1, and that doesn't help anybody. See, there's the Philosopher, there's the 2/2. Our strategy seems to be working. He's playing 2 of them, which means our strategy is going to work even better, because that'll leave us with the last creature standing. Oh boy! The other reason you don't want to play your creatures in the first main phase is because if you use all your mana, your opponent will know that you don't have an instant, you don't have a trick, a combat trick as we like to call them. So holding your mana up will make them play more conservatively since they don't know that you don't have something. And this time, we do have something. So let's go ahead and attack with the team. Gonna wait for the declare blockers. We got him. So we've stopped time in order to play Glorious Charge on our 2/2. Oh, it's all our creatures. What? Did I target the wrong creature? No, I didn't. Perfect. So our creature survived by having 3 toughness and only taking 2 damage. It recovers, and the effect wears off at the end of our turn, and now our opponent only has 1 creature, and we still have both. And Hixus knows it, so he isn't attacking so that he doesn't take even more damage next turn. We're going to go ahead and attack with the team real quick, see if he offers a trade. With 5 mana up, Hixus might have an instant of his own. Let's see what he has. The answer appears to be nothing. Nothing whatsoever. We're going to go wide here and cast both of our creatures and not the flyer. We want to wrap this up as fast as we can. Show the Warden who's the real boss of this prison. Hixus reaches 6 mana, which means he could cast something really big anytime he wanted to. Fortunately though, he seems to not have anything. We're going to go ahead and attack with everybody. Uh-oh. There we go. He's using one against us. It's Lightning Strike, which deals 3 damage to target creature or player. He's probably going to hit the Swift Claw, the biggest creature, and thus the one that can do the most damage. He does. So our creature takes 3 damage and dies instantly. And since the creature died before the do damage sub-step of the combat step, it doesn't get to hit Hixus. Going to the second main phase now, we're going to play the Great Heart. Hi, Elmer. That's a limited resources thing. They're an excellent Magic podcast. Check them out. Alright, Hixus hits his 7th land, which is a lot, and he plays one of the 2/2 Traveling Philosophers. After a while, it's become somewhat beneficial to hold some lands into your hand, once again, to kind of threaten that you actually have more going on than you actually do, especially if in a deck like this that seems to curve out at about 4 mana tops. We don't really need extras. We can even cast multiple cheap things at once. We're going to go ahead and declare combat, and we're going to attack with everybody. And depending on how Hixus blocks, we're going to use Glorious Charge in order to seal the game this turn, even though normally we'd come up 1 damage short. Alright, there's the declare blockers, and here's the charge. All our creatures get bigger, meaning the philosophers get killed, and so does Hixus. And the elk finishes the job. Looks like this is a jailbreak, Warden. And we've got 100 gold. We can spend it on something when we get out of prison. Yay! Alright, we didn't get any achievements, but we did upgrade our deck some more. We're getting even stronger, guys. 4 years under the guidance of Hixus has shaped you into a powerful combat mage. Hixus believes your natural talent for wielding magic belies something special about you. He suspects that, like his own mentor, you may be a planeswalker. Oh snap! And yes, we know. Alright guys, well that has been the second story of Kytheon's campaign. We'll be back shortly with the third. There's harpies on the horizon, and Apgros needs defending. Can we stand up to the might of the horrible creatures of the plane of Theros? Find out next time. This has been Lee with Untapped Potential. Thanks for watching.